What is going on, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Running with Friends. Just want to shout everyone out there who's still grinding. For those who have a season, I wish you the best of luck in any races you got coming up. For those of you who don't have a season, keep your head up, keep grinding. The opportunity to race will come once again, so don't get discouraged. Just keep putting in the work. Today, I have the pleasure of talking to a very special guest. He's been like a little, not so little brother to me for the past 6-7 years. Got mad love for him, a lot of love for his family. It's my little brother, Gabe Curtis. How's it going, brother?
It's good, Brad. Thanks for having me on.
Yes, sir. So, man, let's get started because I have a lot to talk about with you. I love talking to you. You're my bro. So I like to start by asking people, how long have you been running for? When did you start running?
So I started running track in seventh grade.
All right.
So I was I want to say 13, 14.
Yeah, so you've been running for a while now.
Yeah. It's been a minute.
All right, so for those of you who don't know Gabe, I feel like everyone who listens to my podcast probably knows who you are. But for those of you who don't know Gabe, this dude is built like an animal. Like his athletic physique is insane. He's like 6'5", 6'6", with like an insane wingspan. He's built like Bull, man. I swear. So those that don't really know you don't know that you were a 3-sport athlete in high school. You ran cross country, actually 4 sports, because you ran cross country and track. You played basketball and you played golf.
Yeah.
So my question is, why did you venture more into running other than aside from basketball and golf?
Yeah, so basketball, I mean, that's the sport that most people assume I play when they see me. But that was more like my freshman year. I just did that to kind of have fun, to meet new guys. Low key, it was a recruiting stunt to try and get some of the guys that are playing basketball that should be runners to hop over and start becoming cross-country guys. But, yeah, I remember in ninth grade, our team wasn't really – our cross team wasn't much at all. So just getting over there and meeting a few of the guys to come over and run cross-country was really good. And then golf, I don't know. That's just something I've actually always done since third grade. So I just stuck with that all throughout high school. But I don't know. Running really just got me, bro. Running really just got me.
I feel that. This man said he played basketball for fun, but I did a little research and he was putting up 9 points and 9 rebounds. This man was almost averaging a double for fun. Who does that, bro? This man, bro. Just know that if you ever need a runner to play basketball with, Gabe Curtis is your guy. He catches lobs, I swear. I've seen it. He dunks on people. This man is insane.
I'm still waiting for a big Florida Runners basketball pickup game, bro.
Dude, we need to get that going. That'll be sick. Well, obviously, you stuck out with running. You had a stellar high school career. I mean, I feel like you always found yourself at the state meets, whether it was the cross-country state meet or the track state meet. I mean, obviously, in your first few years, you were there, not a lot of success, but you were young, which is, I mean, it's expected. It's rare for a freshman and sophomore to just come out and bang out and be podiuming and stuff like that. But obviously after your freshman and sophomore year, you start rising up and then you start seeing success, dropping the good, fast times. And then my question is, do you feel like throughout your career, a lot of people discredit you and your success because you were 1A? Because I feel like that's something that happens a lot where everyone's like, oh, yeah, Gabe is winning state titles, but he's 1A. Anyone can win state titles in 1A, which is not true. You were winning state titles with very, very respectable times. Do you feel did you get that a lot, from people or not?
Yeah, no, I mean, it's crazy. Even when I first started running, I would, look up to a lot of those, 1A always had, a couple standout guys that were, good across the whole state.
Yeah.
I remember getting into it. It was Franco Martins.
Yeah.
Turned into Noah Perkins and just there kept being people, and I would call them 1A legends because they were big in my eyes, and I was dang, I want to be like that where I'm never limited to just being good in 1A or whatever that looks like. And I felt like I was representing 1A whenever I went to those big races and was trying to win. So I definitely, and I always challenge the kids that were in my district and region and state to be let's be better than 1A. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Let's continue to raise it, because obviously the reason that it is the way it is because we don't have as much people to pull from. Like, we don't have as much
Exactly.
talent.
Yeah.
We're not as deep as some of the other classifications, but there's definitely a lot. There's always been talent in 1A.
Yeah.
So
Of course. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. I agree. I feel like if you're a runner and someone is putting up good times and like running like placing in the top in races, like it doesn't matter what classification he is. Like you shouldn't label a runner based on their classification. You should pretty much label them based on how they grind out there on the races and stuff like that, which is something you did a lot. Like you said, you took pride in going out there and like putting on for 1A and like with those big meets, like whenever like when all the classifications kind of clashed. So
hmm
then another thing I want to ask you about, uh, you have represented the Bahamas multiple times at
yeah,
international competitions. You competed in 2018 and then you competed in 2019. 2019 to me was extremely impressive. I remember you ran like 15:20s in the 5K, like 350s in the 15, both in the same day in April before the state series.
yeah.
Did it go through your mind that like were you ever scared that like, oh, I'm scared to like go out to this like the Carifta games and like maybe burn out and not perform as well and during the state series, or like what was your thought process like deciding to do that?
Yeah, it was pretty like difficult to plan it out. I remember me and my coach trying to figure out exactly how we were going to do it. I don't think we did it perfectly necessarily, but it was almost like a model where we were trying to like, because you're trying to get like a good amount of training in,
Yeah.
but you yourself out with training when you have all these like elite races coming up. And I remember that's like right around the time where it was like Arcadia, FSU relays, then it went like districts, then Carifta was in the state series,
Yeah.
went like regionals and states. But we really just looked at Carifta as like a more like a boost in morale, to be honest, because to go and compete there was just so much fun. It was
Yeah.
so energetic that it almost like boosted my confidence going into the state series, which was a good thing because going into Carifta, I don't think I had that like momentum that I was wanting to have at that point in the season.
Yeah. I see what you're saying. Yeah, of course you get to go out there compete for your country. I mean you went with your little brother as well, so like that was super fun. I know your parents were super happy, super proud about that. So like going
Yeah,
out there and like you said, just going out there for a meet that like I mean it's still a big and huge meet, but it maybe doesn't carry as much weight as
yeah,
if it was like the state meet in Florida where like all eyes are on you and everyone's expecting Gabe Curtis to be Gabe Curtis, where you can just go out there, run, have fun, and then kind of come back and then just kind of tunnel vision for the rest of the state series. So no, that's
exactly.
awesome.
A good opportunity.
Yeah, that's definitely a great opportunity that you as a young kid you shouldn't I feel like you shouldn't pass up and you wouldn't want to pass up something like that.
Yeah.
So then transitioning from high school to college, you commit to Florida State University. Why Florida State University?
Why Florida State? There's a lot of good reasons, and it was definitely hard to choose during the recruiting process just because there's so much like coming at you. But I'm really glad. Like the more time has gone on, I've been more and more happy that I chose Florida State. Um, from like beautiful trails, great places to run, stuff like that, because I want to make sure that I can go somewhere where I can pound and like really work hard and like I guess reduce the chances of me getting hurt by
Yeah,
the most possible. So just finding a place where there was like really good trails to run on was important. And that's just crazy that we have that in Florida. So I was really drawn to that. I remember always saying I wanted to go to FSU when I was younger. It
yeah,
kind of faded away like during high school, but then like I remembered it once I was getting recruited. I was like, this really has been one of my dream schools for a while. So like, and then honestly, one of the biggest things was they were saying I was going to be roommates with Paul Stafford, and then JoJo Francois. And that was like one of the biggest recruiting things because I just know how hardworking they are and like how dedicated they are. And I was like, if those guys are my roommates, I think
yeah.
I'll like really
Having
be able
roommates,
to.
having hardworking roommates, like, is good because they elevate you to be better. Like, especially like people who hold you accountable. And then it's just the fact that you were coming in with two guys who you're familiar with. Like familiar faces, like you know like their resume, like you know JoJo, it's a stud. Then you know Paul, stud already, and you coming in, Paul had already 1-2 years under his belt already. So like it's like he's
Yeah.
an experienced guy that you can like kind of pick his brain if you ever needed to and stuff like that. So obviously that
Yeah.
definitely worked out in your favor. I mean, those are great roommates. I already had Paul on the podcast, and then now I have you. And then Paul, I was talking to Paul. I was like, yeah, I got Gabe on this week, and he's like, oh, you need to get JoJo to have the full house. I was like, say less. I'll set that up soon.
Exactly, man. Exactly. That's the thing. And honestly, coming in, I felt like I was below them in the running standard. Like, so I felt like they were definitely gonna pull me up and like get me to that top tier. So it's been really cool to see that happen. And we've all just like we balance all these different things about each other. So it works really, really well.
So let's talk COVID right now. So obviously COVID in the spring cancels track season. What was your initial reaction when you kind of first found out and like heard that like track season was like done?
It was funny. Like we went out on the trail and like about a little past halfway through the run, we were running back past the van. So the guy stopped to get some water. And they all looked on their phones and they're like, the season's over. And we're like, dang. So like some people went and finished the run. Some people were like, it's over. Like we're chilling. Like there's no point. But I had to take like 2 weeks off, 10 days to 2 weeks off, and really just because I knew it was about to be like a long training session.
Yeah.
And I was like, I just need to relax for a second, make sure I clear my head, and then come back like motivated. Because the last thing I wanted to do was just try and keep pushing through and then burn out like a few weeks later and then like be struggling to find the motivation. So I went ahead and took like 2 weeks off and just clear my mind. I think in that 2 weeks, I ended up heading back home to Orlando. So just chilling with my family, chilling with my brothers and stuff
Yeah,
like
of
that.
course. Yeah, that's always good. Time off is always good. It makes you appreciate the grind when you kind of away
Exactly.
from it and you take a step back. So
And it
obviously,
definitely makes you like more motivated, I'd say.
yeah, of course. So
Like
then
miss it.
obviously you're training all summer, getting ready for cross country season. I don't think anyone like I feel like a lot of people were like, "Oh, COVID happened, but it's definitely gonna be gone by the fall." And then so your summer training is going. You're having a great summer of training. I mean, I got to get a couple running with you at
Yeah.
Claremont. So everyone's grinding the summer. And then like as like fall is getting closer and closer, it's like oh shit, like COVID's still a thing. Like conferences are starting to cancel. Schools are going up fully virtual. Like seasons are getting canceled. Programs are getting cut. So like as you're seeing all that like on your feed, like what are your thoughts? And are you thinking like, damn, is my cross season gonna get canceled? And like did that like decrease your motivation? Did that like was your motivation still the same? Like what was going through your head as you're seeing all that?
Yeah, no, I feel you. It was definitely difficult. I'll shout out Florida running community a little bit just because like seeing how motivated everybody was, it was almost like nobody even like had
Yeah,
a
I
hiccup.
feel like it was like
Yeah,
nobody was phased. It was like everyone kind of had that in the back of their head where like my season might get canceled, but at the same time it was like
yeah,
listen, I'm gonna still keep grinding because if it doesn't get canceled, then I'll be ready and I won't have any regrets, which is the way I kind of was looking at it.
exactly. That's exactly how I saw it too because we were like having team meetings and stuff on Zoom and coach was just talking about like the meets that he's planning to go to. And a piece of me was like, this stuff is gonna get canceled. Like,
Yeah.
but the other side was like, if it doesn't get canceled and I'm like not ready, I'm gonna be like so much regret. So I was like,
If you
nah.
if season don't get canceled and you come back out of shape, you getting jumped every
Exactly.
workout.
It was a gamble. It was a gamble. I don't think I let myself get too out of shape ever, but like there was a piece of me that was like, oh my goodness, this is hard. Like I was running a lot by myself at a certain point, and I remember like when after one Zoom meeting, coach told us what we were trying to do, like what meets we were trying to go to, and I was like, all right, it's about a month out till I go back up to Tallahassee, and I need to like really start hitting these workouts. So
Yeah.
I called Paul and I was like, okay, man, like I'll drive out to Lake Wales every workout morning and come and like run with you. It was Paul Andy Denton, a
Yeah,
freshman on our team,
Zach.
Zach, another freshman, and I want to say that's it. I hope I'm not missing anybody. But yeah, it was like us four from FSU. And I was just driving out to Lake Wales. I think I had to wake up like 4:30 or so and be gone by like 5. But it was like so worth it. Like the momentum really started there.
Yeah.
And for 4 weeks, I was just hitting workouts with those boys. It was great because I got to build a relationship with them before they came up to Tallahassee, the two freshmen. And then Paul and I are already homies, obviously. But like that's when I was like, okay, we're building some momentum. So the motivation started coming back, the excitement started coming back because
Yeah,
it was
of
like
course.
in this shape.
No, and Lake Wales is a nice place to go train at. I got to go out there one time this summer and run with Paul, Andy, and Zach a couple times. So definitely
Yeah.
a good place to train at. And then, like you said, like waking up at 4:30, like I mean, it sounds crazy and it sucks. Like no one wants to wake up that early, but like at the same time, it's like dude, like sometimes you got to do what you got to do, and like the fact that you had the self-awareness to recognize that, like, okay, like I'm kind of lacking motivation, like like things aren't clicking. Let me change something to like kind of get that motor going again, and like just going out there and just linking up with those boys. Like sometimes that's really all it takes, just linking up with like someone, like linking up with some boys, and like it like changes your whole outlook on the run, like your whole outlook on the workout. And, like it's like things go by so quick. And I bet
And
you those 4 weeks probably flew by, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, I'm already back in Tallahassee.
yeah, for sure. And I remember like before that point, I would lace up the flats and I would go and run like 3 or 4 miles of one of our tempo workouts, and I'd be dying. Nothing was clicking, nothing was going. And
Yeah.
this is a flat surface, wearing flats, like cool, whatever it is. But like,
Yeah, it was like perfect condition, but for some reason it was the mental that was like screwing you up.
and then when I was in Lake Wales, it was trainers, hills, clay road, and we were dropping, like we were hitting paces, and I was like, wow, it was crazy. But yeah,
So obviously, fast forward, you're back in Tallahassee, and then ACC makes the announcement. Cross country season is still happening for the conference. You guys are still
yeah,
having meets. I mean, mostly in Florida, except I think your conference meet and maybe regionals
hmm
is out of state.
yeah.
So then,
Well, we have, yeah.
are you guys hosting regionals this year?
No, it's gonna be at North Carolina.
Okay, so
Oh no, NC State, yeah, NC
so
State.
then the fact you find out you still have a season, you're sitting there like, okay, summer training wasn't a waste, even though like I don't see it as a waste. Like for me, like I'm not racing, but like I still see it as like I'm in good shape. Like whenever the
Yeah,
opportunity to race comes for me, I'll be ready. But obviously for
exactly.
you have that opportunity coming up soon. So how excited were you to find out you had a race? And tell me about this race coming up. You guys have Mountain Dew coming up soon. I mean, I've been keeping up with you boys, and you guys have been having some killer sessions. You guys are
Mhm.
all in good shape. Like, what are you looking forward to? How excited you are for Mountain Dew, and how excited are you for having season?
Yeah, it's weird. Like when I actually think of me like towing the line, then I get that like the chills and the excitement all hits me. But like right now, honestly, it's just keeping my head down, working hard with the teammates. I'm like really enjoying this season more than last fall or this past spring, which is crazy with everything considered. But
Yeah,
I'm having a really good time, like with the freshmen, with my roommates, with my team, even though, we're in pods training now, so that's a little bit different. But we're making the most of it. I'll say that. And I've just been focusing on each individual workout, and we've just been clipping them off. So I'm trying to keep that mentality where I'm not looking too far in the future. And that's honestly what like Corona has like taught me in a way, is that like nothing is guaranteed in the
yeah.
future, I guess. So like really just making the most out of every single week of training. And once we toe the line on Friday, like everything goes well, hopefully. As far as like getting there, testing this week and all that, we all toe the line and we, do what we were planning to do.
So are you guys getting tested like weekly, bi-weekly?
Yeah, it's weird because there's like every other week testing. So that's the regimen. That's like every other
Yeah.
week we're getting tested. But then also you have like pre-race testing.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's almost like now this week was back to back because we just got tested last week.
Yeah.
So now we're gonna get tested again, I think on Wednesday.
Oof. So
Yeah.
that's a
So it's
lot of testing.
it's a lot, or it's crazy with that. That's the new norm right now.
It'll
So
be all worth it once you toe that line, though, for sure.
for
With that,
sure.
you put that singlet on, woo, put your little bib on. It's like,
Yeah.
oh man, just thinking about it, it's crazy.
First time jerseying up for a cross race, so I'm hyped for sure.
Man, what? That's Friday. This Friday?
Yo,
Is it in
yo.
the morning?
Mm-hmm.
Damn, I have a workout. Man, I'll drive out there and watch because that'll be exciting. But I have practice. I gotta work out. But I'll text you, send you some good luck. All right, so
Anything like
now I want to talk. I want to move from running to your life outside of running. Let's talk.
that.
Let's talk music. Tell
Hey,
tell tell the people your rap name.
insight.
Yes, sir. So for those of you who don't know, my boy's a rapper. Check him out on SoundCloud. I'm gonna share the link with everyone. So when did you get into music and how did you get into like rapping and all that?
So like I've always been into music since I was like in like third grade. Like I used to
Yeah,
play
yeah.
guitar, and the vibes had definitely changed in my music. But yeah, I used to play guitar and like sing and stuff like that. And I took a break from it honestly once I started taking running seriously, or actually just sports in general, because then I was playing like competitive golf and everything. But yeah, like it's almost like the sports like took the focus a lot, and I like was getting a lot of positive like reinforcement from doing sports. So it kind of suppressed like my creative side a little bit, I feel like.
Yeah.
And it only really started coming out again like 10th grade or so when I really started like writing and stuff because I was just dealing with some stuff in my life. And that was like a good outlet for me just to write. And I wasn't really ever planning to like put music out or anything like that, but I would record some stuff and share it with some of my friends, and they'd be like, "This is really good. You should put it out." And it was only when I got to like college that I was like, "All right, it's time to really like start like pursuing this because it's something I've always been passionate about, and like there's no reason not to chase those types of things. Also, it's just another thing to balance.
Yeah, no, of course. It's something outside of running. Like
Mhm.
you don't want to be like me. We both love running. We love the grind. We always striving to be better, but you also don't want to be consumed completely by running. Because
For sure.
it's like I always tell everyone, like it's like it's so rare for like us to like make it professionally in running. Like you have to be like really, really good, like really, really,
Yeah.
really good. So like you don't want to like get consumed by the sport because like guess what? We're not gonna be runners forever. So you want to have like something else that like you can like put time into, like, and like you said, like just like creative side of you, like you don't want to keep it suppressed. Like that's why like I'm doing this podcast, like started a
Like,
YouTube video,
sorry,
like
YouTube
I
video.
like
Like,
doing stuff
I
like
like
this,
doing stuff
being
like this.
creative, having fun with it, just different things like that like, I mean, even though this podcast is like kind of like focused on running, but like it's just something different though. It's not like I'm not actually like running or racing or something. It's just
Exactly.
having conversations with run. Like I just love having conversations with people who run in the Florida community. Just because a lot of times people see like the success or like they see, oh, this kid dropped a fast time. Oh wow, this kid improved so much. Oh, this kid has like 15 state titles, but like they don't know the story behind all that. Like they don't know the struggles. They don't know like stuff like that. Like when I did my episode with Paul, like they everyone sees Paul's success. No one, most people don't know that Paul was hurt for like a whole year and had to sit out a whole school year, like cross country and track, and then came
Yeah.
back next year and had an incredible season. Like people just don't know stuff like that, and that's what I kind of want to bring out with this. It's just like sharing people's lives in running and then also out of running, like just talking about your music and stuff like that. Like showing
Yeah.
people that like, yeah, we're runners, but we're also like more than runners. Like we have lives outside of running.
Yeah, and that's something that like I wish that someone had told me when I was younger to like to be a great runner. It doesn't mean to like it means to have other things that make you happy, like and enjoy the whole process. Like if you just sit there just like too focused on that one thing, it can become like you can start building a negative relationship with running.
Yeah, no, of
And
course.
you can become way better having like just having other outlets and like having things that make it fun for you. So that's what I would say, like, to anybody that's like really trying to get elite. Obviously, you have to have like a lot of focus in running, but
Yeah.
your joy and your happiness around it is what's actually gonna like make you excel. Like Paul specifically, he just loves every little piece. Like he loves all the different pieces of running. He's very happy doing what he does, and that's why I feel like it makes him so good at it.
Yeah.
So it's crazy, man, because that's something I never knew growing up. Or in
Another thing, what was it? Oh, so you went to Kenya. Talk to me a little about that.
Yeah, right. So that opportunity came about through like competing with the Bahamas. And since there's not a lot of great distance runners in the Bahamas, like in the Caribbean in general, when Mitchell and I ran, my little brother, when we ran at Carifta in 2018, and they saw like a couple good stats for a Bahamian runner in distance, there was one other Bahamian runner, and he was training in Kenya. So he reached out, I think, to my mom on Facebook and said, I see that there's a couple other Bahamian distance runners. Like, congrats. Y'all did really good. And it's cool just to see some other, like, people getting interested in distance. And they're like, yeah. And you know my mom, she's very social.
Oh, yeah. I love your mom.
Yeah. So she was like, oh, so, like, where are you training? Like, what's it? And I don't know how it came about, but they were just talking. And then I remember my parents just talking to Mitchell and I and being like, would y'all want to go to Kenya and like train for a little bit? And we're like, hell yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah, man, we went out there for about a month. We trained with him in E10 Kenya, and it was an insane experience, bro. I miss it more and more, like every day.
Yeah, so, and I bet it just kind of like opened your eyes too, because it's probably so different from like back home, like just the lifestyle and stuff like that.
Yeah, like running as a culture in that village was like, it was definitely different. I feel like they were really in tune with their bodies. They were, because they don't have a lot of this stuff that we have here, like as far as like the equipment and all
like
the
technology and stuff.
Reasons. Exactly. Like at FSU, I feel like a professional athlete, you know? Like I have every little thing. If anything aches, I can go get it checked out, which is really good. But I'm glad that like, and most runners do, because they don't have that opportunity in high school. But I was glad I had the opportunity to be very in touch with my body and like know how to like work out certain aches and pains myself before I got like all the extra stuff, because it's important to be in tune with your body and know when to push things and stuff like that. And in Kenya, they were like on that, bro. They were on it for sure. So it was cool to see that and be a part of it.
So how many times in a week would you say you're like walking around your place and you see JoJo or Paul trying to make a TikTok?
Dude, oh my goodness. Every day, Paul, I come down and he's like, look at this TikTok I just made. And he'll just sit there, he'll show me all the things I haven't dropped yet. I'm like, ooh. This man got some heat on TikTok.
That boy TikTok famous, bro. I love it. It's so funny. I love that. I love those boys. They really took off over summer. JoJo would have me dying on TikTok, bro.
Bro, I'm telling you, man. I should have got on it when they started it back. Like it was like right when quarantine started. Like,
yeah.
Everything got canceled. They really hopped on it, and they've been sticking with it, man. It's funny. I'm happy Paul has gotten a little platform through TikTok.
Yes, sir. No, I love it. I like it too. So at the end of each episode, I just like to end with like a quick Q&A. I'll just ask you some question and then you just give me your answer. Sounds good?
Yeah.
All right, so first question, what's your favorite trainers to train with?
Right now, I'm going to have to go with the Vomeros.
Yes, sir. I know a lot of people that like the Vomeros. All right, so favorite cross-country course in Florida?
This is gonna be surprised by Holloway probably.
Really?
Holloway Park, man. Well, everybody hates that.
I just one of the freshmen at UT, like she was like, I was talking to her and she's from Florida. She went to George Jenkins, and she was telling me like Holloway is her favorite course. I mean, I personally never ran it, but like I've heard like horror stories from people. But I've also like I was telling her I feel like I've heard like if you run well, I feel like you love Holloway. But if you don't run well, like up to your capabilities, I feel like you hate Holloway. That's the way I look at it from what I've heard from like different runners.
Yeah, no, I've had like one good race there, but like I don't know. I raced against Paul there in 10th grade before I even knew who Paul was, and I was like, this man. So I don't know. I have a lot of memories out there. Maybe that's what it is.
All right, so favorite track in Florida?
This is gonna be bad, man. This is gonna be bad. I'm not gonna lie, bro. I like racing at UF track. Ooh.
Oh no,
Ooh.
no.
Oh,
Coach,
can you edit that out?
Did you hear that, Coach? Did you hear that?
Can you edit that out? I like racing. Hey, all right. FSU is the best track for training and that high school 2 mile. You already know what it is.
Yes, sir.
But I remember watching the mile since I was like in 8th grade, watching the mile at UF.
Yeah.
And just
I feel like different tracks in Florida have like different vibes. Like FSU for like distance is like the mecca, but then you talking like mid distance, like 800 mile, you gotta go UF, and then I feel like also a lot of people like say UNF just because that's where the state meet has like been hosted for like a lot of years, and like that's where a lot of kids like won state titles and stuff like that. So you're like, oh man, like, and then like I don't know who would pick IMG, but I guess some people. If you want to say title IMG, you might like it.
That track was windy, bro. That track was windy.
All right, so another running question: what's your favorite race distance?
Ooh, man, I had some fun with the 3K. Indoor
3K? Dude, I love the 3K. I love the 3K. I just ran my first 3K ever this past spring, and I was like, dude, like, this is like a fun race. It's not a 15 because a 15 feels like a sprint, but it's not a 5K. It's not like 12 and a half laps. It's like right in the middle. It's like the sweet spot, dude.
Exactly, right. It feels like, and especially once you have transitioned from like high school training to college training.
Yeah.
Because we always viewed like the 3,000 or the 3,200 as a distance race. Yeah. And now it really feeling like a kind of mid type of distance.
Yeah. Like 3K is definitely not. So
you're like moving. Yeah. No, it's fun.
All right, so give me your favorite rapper.
J. Cole, all the way.
J. Cole, I like it, yes sir. So then, if you could collab with any artist, either dead or alive, who would you want to collab with? Ooh. Actually, no. I'll put it this way. Let's say you're making a song and you want it could be as many artists as you want, and you're making a song and you're like, okay, I have like 3 verses. I need 3 different artists. Who would you put on your song?
Okay. Well, it's gonna have to be like these Dreamville artists they be slapping, bro. So it would have to be. So you're saying 3 different artists?
Yeah, give me 3 artists who you would throw on a song that like you needed 3 features. Who would be the 3 people you would call?
Ooh, all right. J. Cole, obviously, because he's my favorite. Kendrick be slapping, bro. And then I don't know if you've heard of not A Boogie, but just Boogie. Have you heard of that artist?
No, I feel like maybe if I hear a song or something, maybe, but
yeah, bro, he's gas. Yeah, I've been listening to him a lot lately. So
there we go. J. Cole, Kendrick. If y'all hear my podcast, my boy Insight trying to hop on a track with y'all. So let's get it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, so this one might get you in trouble. So I asked Paul this question too. Who is your favorite teammate? You can only pick one person.
It has to be my boy Paul. I don't know. I need to go listen to his to make sure he picked me.
I don't remember who he picked.
He didn't.
He might have picked Caleb. He might have picked,
all right.
Or I think he played it safe and picked somebody that was a teammate of his that had already graduated. So he didn't pick any of the current guys to stay out of trouble.
Okay.
He tried to be smart. He tried to outsmart me.
Yeah, if it was somebody on the team, I might have to change mine up real quick.
All right, so what's your go-to restaurant?
Go-to restaurant? Dude, I feel like a bot right now. Olive Garden. I feel like a runner.
All the cliche running answers.
Yeah, I know, bro. This is bad.
All right, so then give me your favorite professional runner and just favorite athlete overall.
All right. Uh, so my favorite professional runner, the first person I ever compared myself to in like my stride and everything was David Rudisha.
Yes, dude,
Yes.
100%.
Yeah, that has to be the GOAT for
Y'all
me.
have like y'all like have like the perfect stride. I be seeing pictures, dude. So actually, Andrew Stivers just sent me a picture like maybe yesterday or 2 days ago from like 2015, I think it was. It was like me, you, and him in the lead at a race at UCF,
Yes,
and you
bro.
have
You had
like
to send me.
super short hair, and I'm like you're like next to me, and I'm like, yo, what the fuck? This man is so tall, bro.
Hey, you had super short hair too.
Yeah, I had the short hair too, dude. Back in the days, dude. Dude, that was
Yes.
crazy. That was crazy.
Yeah, man.
So then,
I
who's
might
your?
have to go back to that at some point in my high school, in my college career.
I know. I feel like I'm gonna go back to it eventually. So, who's your favorite athlete overall?
Tiger Woods.
Tiger Woods. All right. So
Because he came back from
he really
like
did and won
he
that.
really went top all the way down and then
And
all
then
the way
came back
back
all
up.
the way to the top. It just shows, man, resilience. All right.
Yeah, for
Last question. If you could go professional in either running, basketball, or golf, Which one are you picking? Like someone came up to you right now with 3 different contracts to go professional in either one of those sports. Which one you signing?
Dang. Dude, that's a hard question. You know I love running, but there's no money in that.
That's what I'm saying.
No money in that.
Like
Golf
I
is
feel like
chill.
golf
There's a
probably the
minimum.
most money, but to me, I'll probably go in the middle. If I had this question, I'll probably go in the middle and then sign basketball just because I feel like basketball will be the most fun and I'll make decent money.
Yeah, basketball would be so fun.
Basketball would be
Yeah,
so lit, dude.
let me go with
Imagine being
basketball.
in the
Let me go.
NBA. How sick would that be?
That'd be too fun, bro. Yeah, that'd be too fun. I'm
So
gonna have to go with basketball.
you gonna go basketball? All
Yeah,
right, there
I,
you
I
have
may
it,
be a
guys.
fake runner.
You have
I
it,
think
guys.
every cross runner believes that they're a baller, though. I think
Oh,
every
dude,
cross runner believes they're a
I'm a hooper, bro. I'm a hooper. I'm a hooper,
bro.
baby. I got a
Yes,
nasty
sir.
crossover. My post game ridiculous.
Dog, I'm telling you, next summer when we're all in at the Clay Roads,
Yo,
we're hitting
we'll set it up for sure.
tournament 5-on-5.
All right, there we go, guys. I appreciate you so much, bro. You know it's all love
Yeah.
always. You know I'm always keeping up with you and your career. You know I got mad love for your family. And then usually at the end of my episode, I play like my little outro song. But what I did, I recorded "I Ain't Trippin" because that's my favorite song of yours. I pre-recorded it. I hope you don't mind. I'm gonna play it at the end of the episode so people can hear. And then I hope people hey, everyone go check him out. I'm telling you, you're not gonna regret it. My man puts out good music. You know,
Appreciate it.
just wholesome content. My boy Gabe Curtis. I appreciate you, brother.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
No problem.
Yeah, check. I ain't tripping. Yeah. Stepping out of line and I might have to come call you out. People talk the most when they don't know what they talking about. Niggas quick to fight, I'm trying to see if we can talk it out. Blood spills, then white folks like exactly what we talking about. I've been out here chasing clout. When I know there's more to life, I wanna sit on courtside. Wanna see my name in lights. Mama say remember Christ. Dad told me remember I'm chosen for this journey, and I trust that you gon' do what's right. Yeah, I ain't tripping. Might've lost my grip a bit, but I ain't slipping. Nah, I ain't tripping. 10 toes down to the ground, I ain't slipping. Like violence is going far beyond the physical. I can read the vibes and it's been messing with my spiritual. Lord, we need a miracle, the end is near. Help us stray from what is typical and face our fear. Swear this year already has been hard and it ain't really started. I just broke a female's heart because I'm broken hearted. But regardless, I've been out of pocket, shit, at least I'm honest. And hopefully these verses gotta reach like Giannis. Yeah, I ain't tripping. Might've lost my grip a bit, but I ain't slipping. Nah, I ain't tripping. 10 toes down to the ground, I ain't slipping. Set a pass, won't let it trust in the mirror. I'm just hoping that the real ones prevail. We be set up to fail. Niggas ain't shit, I'm always reading that tale. On some shawty's Insta story, who's been hoeing since before Eve. Y'all grouping is my pet peeve. Swear that shit is whack, man. It's the word to tell you anything, you eat it up like Pac-Man. The odds already stacked, man. Need you on my side. Y'all know the world we live in. Need to get behind the wheel and straight up. Yeah, I ain't trippin'. Might've lost my grip a bit, but I ain't slippin'. Nah, I ain't trippin'. 10 toes down to the ground, I ain't slippin'. Yeah, I ain't trippin'. Might've lost my grip a bit, but I ain't slippin'. Nah, I ain't trippin'. 10 toes down to the ground, I ain't slippin'.
I think you trippin', nigga. Yeah, I think you trippin', nigga.